So yeah, I moved one of my make.com scenarios to n8n, and this is how it looks like, right? So what this flow does is, okay, let me show you the make.com flow. I use this to process like leads from my Google Sheets. These are leads that came from LinkedIn jobs, right? So I'm trying to get the CEO details, like CEO um email, their name, that's CEO full name, the email. Then also using LLMs, that is cloud, to process the to generate the wins. That's I'm using it to write emails, part of the emails that I'll be sending out through my instantly. So the start of the process is reading a Google Sheets, right? After reading the Google Sheets, we filter it, right? After the filter step, I would explain this looping over. So I had to loop over the remaining flow because you can see I'm sending an API request to Relevance AI. I'm sending an API request to Datagma, that's to get the emails. I'm also sending to Million Verifier. I'm also sending API requests to LLM models. And we all have like rate limiting for um each of these platforms has their own rate limiting. Normally, the way n8n processes data is parallel execution. That's everything would run the same time. That means if I had 100 records I wanted to run here, it would be hitting this endpoint 100 times in less than a minute, this 100 times. But with using this loop over, I get to save myself that. So let me just run this workflow for you to see. So yeah, we filter. So you see it only takes one item. We have 11 items, right? But it only takes, let me zoom in. So we have 11 items, but it only takes one item, and then it starts the flow. It loops over, it gets the email. Let me show you where's my Google Sheets. Yeah, so this is the Google Sheets. So this is where it started from. So it's getting the emails, getting the first name, getting the last name, then putting their title, right? So it's not going to find for all. Then it's also adding it to my instantly campaign. Where is the main campaign? That's this one. It will also add it to the campaign. So let me check some of the leads that have been added. Declan MC Nif. Okay, let me search for him in my campaign. Should have been added by now. Declan MC Nif. You see, we just added it. So what we are doing is we are getting the email of the lead. That's the email, the full name. Then I'm also writing this personalization. Congrats on 20 years of tech recruitment expertise, trusted market leader. PS, this is the PS line. Really impressed by how real-time expertly sources tech talent. So we are using the information from their website to do this personalization and also their company description. So we are creating personalization that would be sending in our sequences, as you can see here. So you see how the sequences looks like. We have the congratulations line, then we have the PS line, then we use the clean company name and other details. They were hiring a community manager. So you see, I cleaned it properly. So that is what this flow is supposed to do for us. Oh, where is it? Uh, Let me just refresh. Oh, is that execution done? Let me check. Okay, it's still running. So I'm just running about, what's it, 10 records. But I didn't want it to hit the API limits. right? The rate limiting. We can see the emails coming in, right? These are also added to our instantly. So I want this to be done so that I can continue. Okay, I can continue explaining it. So the part of this that might give you much difficulty is getting this loop to work. So initially here, I was using a filter because I use relevance AI to do a Google search. After the Google search, it sends an LLM, that's who is the CEO of this company, and I give it some of the company description. Then I do the prompting, that's the system prompting, just to tell it you're a helpful research assistant. Return only. I think I was like return only the CEO name, and don't add this in the JSON. Just give me the CEO name. So the data for this was the data from the Google search. So the data from the Google search, is just the normal search you do on Google, but we don't have access to that yet. That's why I had to use the relevance AI. Because if you want SEP API access, you need to pay a lot. So relevance AI helps me do that cheaper. So I update my Google Sheets with the full name. Then I send request to Datagma for the email. That's I put the full name and the company domain. And if found, send to million verifier. So I'm doing a double verification. Find the emails, verify the emails. Before I was using filter for this, but the loop wasn't working, right? Like n8n just works differently from how make.com works. So this is actually a complex flow in n8n. It's also a complex flow in make.com actually. Yeah, but n8n just makes it look a bit more complex, but it's fine. So this is a wait. As it's looping through, this is the flow. It loops through. When it gets to the point where it has sent the first record to instantly, it comes down here. It waits for, I think I did a wait for 1 second. Yeah, it waits for 1 second, then goes back to the second item and continues that flow. So here, this is a switch where I'm using the company description. I said if the company description is greater than 150, go this direction. Use the company direction for the enrichment, because we have enough, like 150 characters above for company description is actually a lot to is actually enough for this enrichment. So we just clean the company name, we clean the LinkedIn job titles that they posted for, we generate the wins from the company description, we write the PS line, then we send to instantly. So exactly what we are seeing here. So I think it has finished running. It should have finished running by now. Let me go to the executions. Yeah, so this is the executions. Let me just show you how some of that data looks like for better context. So relevance AI did the search and sent it to our LLM. So this is the Google search CEO of tenure, right? It gave us the answer, Joe Sperman. So I just told the LLM to help select the CEO from the data. You can see I'm using Open Router here because Open Router gives me access to different models. I'm using Google Gemini Pro 1.5, so I can easily use different models here using the Open Router chat model. And after that, I write it to the Google Sheets. I do the Datagma. The Datagma gives me the email address if found. So let me see which of them found the email address. Okay, the true branch. So for the true branch, that's the if statement. Yes, we found the email. So once it finds this email and you can see the email was valid, it still sends it to million verifier to revalidate it. If you can check here, you see we had 11 emails from Datagma, but only 8 were valid. Most times around 80%, but since I want to keep my bounce rate very low, I do my double verification. So if the email is valid, it sends it to this switch and we do our enrichment. If it's not valid, it comes here, waits for 1 second, then continues the loop. So that's just the process of moving this workflow, right, to anything. Yeah. So any questions you have on this, you could easily ask me, and I'll be happy to explain further.